every YouTube channel, every news channel, and every international news channel were using this picture with Chinmay holding her hands like this and pleading for some mercy and compassion as their thumbnail picture. Look, I get it. Nothing is more sensational to oppress than having a woman beg for mercy from a bunch of men. Take this picture for an example. This little girl is crying at the US immigration border and she's being separated from her mother. Now that picture became the face of cruel immigration policy in the US. But this picture became a joke. This clip of her pleading for some decency was in a fucking loop on a news channel. Journalism contribution in the Me Too movement and real journalism versus tabloid rats. This is what we're going to talk about on episode 18 of Can We Just Talk? In October 2017, after months and months of solid investigation, Jodie Cantor, Megan Twohey and Ronan Farrow, they actually released a bombshell report on Harvey Weinstein. This detailed everything. His abuse of power, the whole cover-up, who was involved in it, rape, sexual assault and many more. They followed a simple format. Who knew, what did they know, and how long did they know it? A shocking detail of the article was Harvey Weinstein assaulting women was an open secret, which means an entire system was created to enable him to assault women and get away with it. The Hollywood agency. You know, when actors and models, they want to sign up with an agency? Well, this is the agency. Well, this agency knew and they still send women to his hotel rooms. His long-term assistant knew about it. His driver knew about it. In fact, the driver witnessed on several times when his boss, Harvey Weinstein, would rape actresses in the back seat. An army of spies were employed to shut this woman up. The reason why it caught their worldwide attention was because they went after the institution. In the movie Spotlight, you know, it's based on a true story. It's about a bunch of reporters who investigate about 100 Catholic priests who molested children and got away with it. There is this particular scene where the reporters come to the chief editor and they show him what are the evidence they have so far. And he says, let's not go after an individual priest. It will make a lot of noise, but after a while it will die down. We need to focus on the institution and not the individual priest. Show me that the church manipulated the system so that this priest didn't face any charges. Show me that it was systematic. Show me that it was top down. Harvey Weinstein reporting had the same parameters, and that's why no one was able to poke a hole in their story because they tied up every loose end. 2 months ago, I saw an interview. And in this interview, the journalist asked the actress, why hasn't #MeToo kickstarted in Bollywood? And this is what I thought. You needed great journalism to back the voices of the people who are speaking out. Recently, CPS chairman Les Moonves was accused of sexual harassment and sexual assault. And eventually he stepped down. There was not even a question whether the story was fake or if this woman were lying, if they just wanted publicity. Because...
Who wrote it?
The New Yorker article by Ronan Farrow.
That's not good.
Everything I've said so far is to highlight the importance of great journalism. You could be a great writer, you could be a great investigator, but if you don't have an inch of humanity in you, then you have already failed. How can you write human stories if you don't have compassion? There are great journalists out there who risk their life so that they can give a great reporting which has a profound impact on the viewers. I'm sure there are award-winning Indian journalists with stellar credentials. And then you have this group of people. The people who goes after actresses and say, you know, now that you're fat and you can't be like a heroine, what do you intend to do? What do you think of your wife with this man? These tabloid rats are so perverse, it's not even funny. Press is the most important asset in the entire world. It has ended wars, it has ended presidency. Press is the only thing which keeps people in power accountable. But when some people make a mockery out of being a journalist, how effective are they, truly? I really think that some people in that room really thought that they were doing great investigative journalism work. These journalists are the same people who ask actors about casting couch. But when the woman turns around and tells their story, they scurry off like little rats. Because...
You want answers? You can't handle the truth!
If Tom Cruise had badgered Jack Nicholson the same way those reporters harassed those women on stage, he would be in contempt of court. Why do men think that they are so superior that they can get away with asking questions and making statements that they wouldn't even subject their own family members to? If you notice, some people in the press were like indirectly and some people very directly defending the accused. It made me even wonder, wait, are you like related to him? Yes, not all accusations about rape and sexual assault are true. But as of October 2018, only 2% to 10% are actually false claims. Now let's imagine it's a city. They have two major problems, okay? 90% of the time, the tap water is not clean. 2% of the time, the drainage gets clogged. So as a city council, which do you fix first? Well, the commonsensical one is to acknowledge and fix the problem that happened 90% of the fucking time. But those press were fixated on the 2%. It's like if the handyman walked in and looked at the water problem and the drainage problem and he was like, you know what? Let me just fix the drainage problem first. He does that because he doesn't have the balls to handle the magnitude of that problem. So he chooses to chew through that first. Journalism 101. This is actually taught in a university about journalism. If someone says it's raining and another person says it's dry, it's not your job to quote them both. Your job is to look out of the fucking window and find out which is true. It's the journalist's responsibility to make the story, not the victim. You think a lawyer goes in front of a judge with mere testimony? He has to build an entire case to support the testimony. That's what great journalists do. Everyone said that Harvey Weinstein sexually abusing women was an open secret. Which means what? Everybody knew that he was raping women and looked the other way? And recently in an interview, Miss Rahana, she said that the thing about Vairamuthu was an open secret. Look, there's no more innocent bystanders. If you knew about something and you knew it was wrong, but you did not do anything about it, then you are just as guilty as the person participating in it. If I was a journalist, and I would get my fingers all up in there. If badgering the victim is the only form of journalism you know, that is some sloppy ass work, man. This journalist in that room didn't care about evidence. Come on. In India, Tanushree Datta's story was the one which kickstarted the metoo movement. Her testimony had evidence. She had video evidence. She has picture evidence. She has eyewitnesses. One of the eyewitnesses is a reporter. But still, nobody believed her. They all thought she was just a fame whore. Look, the only time we care is if someone is in the big boss house and is getting cornered. Remember the time when all the children did not want to play with Ovia and how angry we got? Yeah, so that was like a reality show and it was not a big deal. And this is about sexual assault and people with years and years of therapy and like emotional trauma. It's like we don't know the middle. You know, we either overreact or we underreact. So nothing Chinmayi or the other ladies on stage could have said that would have satisfied the men in the press. Finally, I still think that if you want to bring down people in power who abuse their power for sexual misconduct, you need solid journalism. Solid journalism just speeds up the due process. And also start paying attention to people who are disrespecting the people who are speaking out. And also the channels who are giving airtime to these assholes. You tabloid rats practically beg them to come on your show, sit on the couch and degrade and slut shame the people who are speaking out. You are just as reprehensive. I believe the woman on stage and believe that they were victimized. And I also know during that disgusting press meet, they were victimized once again by the so-called press.
No, she like the drama, yeah, she a sexy mama. And when she dance, everybody go. You know she like the drama, yeah, she a sexy mama.